This segment of Thoroughbreds Argo is brought to you by Inglis, celebrating graduates both on and off the track. Godolphin Lifetime Care is one of the world's most advanced aftercare programs for ex-racehorses, and in Australia it has for many years provided great homes for everything from Group 1 winners to unraced but beautifully bred and educated thoroughbreds. Tayla Gilmore explains more about the program that in recent times saw them sponsor the likes of Cascadian and others at the Racing New South Wales Equimillion competition. Godolphin Lifetime Care is one of the world's great organisations in looking after thoroughbreds away from the racetrack. And now you've been operating for a number of years, rehoming so many well-known horses and lesser-known horses as well. They're just as important. But what's some of the latest news for Godolphin Lifetime Care at the moment? What are you working on mainly?
Yeah, I guess it was quite an exciting time earlier in November. We had 10 sponsored riders attend the Equimillion event down in Sydney at the Sydney International Equestrian Centre. They included, juniors right through to professional riders such as Amanda Ross and Cascadian. So it was really exciting to see them go down and watch them compete over the 4 days of competition.
And we saw a great camaraderie amongst the Godolphin-sponsored horses at the Equimillion competition. We'll talk about that in a minute. But you're also starting an alumni group. Tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, I guess one of the main aims of our Godolphin Lifetime Care program is to ensure a forever home in the first instance and also maintain contact with the current owners of our retired racehorses. And the way that we're trying to do that is through a Godolphin Lifetime Care alumni Facebook group where we have all of the owners of our retired racehorses joining on there to share their stories and success and photo updates throughout the year. And a easy way for people to meet each other, and they go out to competitions and know various different people there with horses that may have even been stabled together at Godolphin. So yeah, I think it's a really lovely way to maintain contact with them and a good way to meet new people when they're out competing with our horses as well.
Yeah, we keep hearing this common theme that when you take on a retired racehorse or a thoroughbred, you need to have a village around you. It's really important, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and certainly, most people we rehome our retired racehorses to, we like to see that they've had some sort of experience with thoroughbreds, whether they've worked with them or had them off the track. But we also recognise that it is very important that they have that support around them, that if they are experiencing some difficulties with the horse, if they've got some quirky little hacks that they're getting around them with, then they need to have the support to be able to work through those quirks with their new owners. So for instance, like Cascadian, he's been a horse that's raced for a very long time and certainly developed some quirks over that time. So transitioning into a performance home has been a challenge for him in some ways, and certainly Amanda Ross has done a lot of work around overcoming some of those challenges. But in certain instances, you need someone with different ideas that might have different approaches to overcoming those issues. And we certainly had some great success in sending him to the Richardsons at Vantage Hill, and he stepped out his first competition at Equimillion and blew us out of the water, and certainly has come leaps and bounds since he's retired from racing.
That's a really good story to tell. I mean, we're talking about Amanda Ross, who's one of the elite Australian competitors. Even she's saying, look, can someone give her a hand with this horse? It's not cut and dried, is it? You should never be afraid of asking for help. You've got one of the best riders in the country who's open to saying, well, hang on, you guys might have some different ideas. You're very well versed with a lot of these thoroughbreds. And she really loved being back on him at Equimillion. You could see that.
Yeah, absolutely. And she said that she was quite the helicopter mum when he went down to the Richardsons. So they provided regular updates in what they were doing with him and how they were trying to combat those issues, which really helped her to then jump back on him and continue with him now. And he's continues to improve day by day. But I think the fact that the Richardsons continuously handle and ride and educate thoroughbreds in their day-to-day work they were able to, look at what challenges he's having and apply their methods. Whereas Amanda is coming from a performance background, she might not have as much experience in dealing with thoroughbred specific issues.
But it's a favourites victory. Kementari beats Parada. Trapeze Arter's third.
And Kementari, I mean, he was such a popular racehorse, wasn't he? Special K. With Lucy Follen now, tell us a little bit about him and the process involved of him winding up with Lucy and how they found Equimillion.
Yeah, so Lucy worked for Godolphin at Osborne Park, and she was his track rider throughout his time in our stables. So they had a great relationship, and when she heard that he was retiring, or even before he retired, she put in her inquiry as to taking him on as a flag bearer. So she's had him ever since he's retired, and they're going really well, starting to build up the levels in show jumping. He's a big horse, so they're going really well together, and this is their first big event at Equimillion. They went really well over the weekend, and I think they got top 10 in the show jumping, so that's exciting, and we're looking forward to seeing how they progress.
Sir Gwyn is much too good in the run to the post, wins it by 2.
And a favourite of mine, because I see so much from Gemma Cutting, who's been with Sir Gwyn. So Gwyn's been with Gemma for a number of years now, but he has the Darley brand. He's a beautiful grey horse, and we saw him doing some of the dressage as well. So again, watching Gemma and the work she's put into him over a number of years, it takes so much time, doesn't it? You've got to be dedicated to be taking these horses on.
Yeah, they're an amazing combo, and they certainly have a great relationship, you can see. And yeah, they had a fantastic time at Equimillion, come away with a few checks, and he's just an old legend, I think. Like she said when she was there, he's a bit of a legend in the Terry Hills area. So it's great to catch up with them at Equimillion and see them succeed on such a big stage.
And it's not just the big name horses, obviously Cascadian and Kementari, people are interested in seeing them, but it's just as important, if not more so in some ways, to be rehoming, a horse such as Patain with Brooke Howe, not of the calibre of racehorse as a Cascadian, but still in a great home, looking magnificent, his coat was fabulous. It's so important, isn't it, to tell those stories too?
Absolutely, and like I said, we had 10 horses that we sponsored over that time. Patain, Cajun Music, Floodlit was with a junior rider doing some dressage and showing. So, it's fantastic to see so many there and to be able to promote the versatility of the thoroughbred breed. And that's certainly not just restricted to horses that were hugely successful on the racetrack. In some instances, those horses that weren't as successful on the track can outperform the Group 1 racehorses in the performance world in show jumping or dressage and eventing.
And so what's the process involved? As you said, sometimes you might have people within Godolphin that have worked with these horses that want to take them on. But for someone externally, we know the education, through over the years, Barley and the team and so many others that you see, even Johnny Sunderland, the way they're raised as foals at Woodlands. We know they've had the best of the best care here. So they are going, to transfer in a large part to do really good things for someone in their new home. What are your processes to protect the horse when it goes to a new place?
Yeah, so we ask anyone that inquires to fill out an application form, and it essentially outlines what they're looking for in a horse, and then I'll choose what horses we have available, which ones I think would be most suited to what they're looking for. It's all about, finding the right horse for the right person and matching them correctly to ensure a forever home in the first instance. We want to try and avoid horses being passed around as much as what we can. Essentially, the new owners are required to sign a sale agreement, which outlines the transfer of ownership and also their commitment to the horse for their lifetime care.
And how have you found the people that do take on the Godolphin horses? I mean, most of them, they can live up to that. I mean, circumstances can change, but what would you say to someone wanting to take a horse on such as this, that they've got to be prepared to be wanting to take that horse for its life?
When they inquire, they certainly need to be prepared that they're taking on a responsibility to look after a horse long term. I think that's a big commitment when we're talking about a horse's lifetime care. We know of horses that have lived to 32, 33 years of age, so circumstances certainly change at various stages in life, and we understand that. So we'll certainly be supportive when circumstances change, but they need to know the responsibility from the outset.
And the joy that people get from these beautifully trained and beautifully bred horses, it's really palpable, isn't it? I mean, you can see it at Equimillion, the joy, even as I said, Amanda getting back on Cascadian, and they really delight in these horses, don't they? The riders taking them on.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think they're the relationships that we want to find for our horses, where you know, someone is over the moon about getting the horse, whether they're a Group 1 winner or a horse that retired because they were too slow. You know, finding a person that is suited to the horse is one of the utmost importance to Godolphin in that process, and you know, second to that is maintaining contact with them and ensuring the horse's welfare throughout their life after racing.